Just Eff It. Hi, I'm Romy, an identity coach helping others who struggle with their sexual identity and families of queer youth find their path of understanding and acceptance.
And I'm Carla, a mom empowerment coach empowering moms to own their new identities and motherhood journeys.
And together we are the EFFing Madres. We are here to invite you guys into stories of some inspiring madres
who have changed their lives through an Eff It moment. So here we go. Just Eff It. Good morning. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
We are the EFFing Madres. I'm Carla. This is Romy. And this is a podcast for moms, madres, supporting other moms through these big life-changing EFFing moments. Those moments that are fully loaded, not careless, where you basically have gotten to a point in your life where you are done with whatever situation you have and you're saying, fuck it. And you want to change it somehow. So it's like just that mental shift that takes you down a path of new opportunities, new perspectives, new learnings about yourself. And we've spoken to many amazing, inspiring moms. And we have another one on today. Who is she, Romy?
Yeah, we have Augie on today, and I've watched her through Instagram. She was actually my stepsister growing up. It was one of her best friends. It was like my younger sister and her little friends, and she used to go on trips with us and vacations when you could like bring a friend. So I've known her since she was such a child, and it's been awesome to watch her on social media grow up into this woman, this mom. She's this successful actress right now. Watching her become a mom, and I reached out because I know she's had some Eff It moments. And so when I asked her to come on, she was excited to touch base, loved what we were doing. And she shared a little bit about checking herself into the hospital for blood clots and then having the baby shortly after. So I'm curious what all went down. I don't know the details of it. So we're just going to jump in with her and kind of explore what that journey's been like.
Oof, that sounds a little scary.
Yeah. So we shall see. I don't know.
All right.
All right.
We're going to bring her in. Okay, everyone, we have Augie here. Okay, and I'm saying your name right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I think I accidentally called you Angie in the email, so I
Yeah.
auto-corrected it.
That's easily mistaken. That's like my daily life right there.
Okay, so we're going to jump into the first question, which is, what shifted your mindset to say Eff It that you're going to share with us today?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have like a million Eff It moments in my life. I think we all do.
We all do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the major thing is you have to advocate for yourself, right? I was pregnant at the end of my pregnancy, and I had an extremely swollen leg, and I'm a Jew and I'm a hypochondriac, so I kept going in, and my doctor was like, "You're fine, you're fine, you're fine," and I'm like, "I don't know, this is weird. One of my legs is swollen and the other one's not." And then I remember on social media, my friend's father passed away because he ended up getting the booster for COVID, the COVID booster shot, and he had a blood clot prior to that, and he died. And that was a big wake-up call for me. And I was going to go get the booster for me and my son. And I'm like, maybe I should do this. I'm like, wait a second. No, I still have a swollen leg. This is weird. My doctor says I'm fine. And I went in to get an image, and they found a blood clot. They checked me in December 19th, and I was there for almost a month in the hospital before having Elvis, my son. So it was like this crazy situation that happened. So I'm really glad I trusted my instincts, and I'm so glad for social media for that moment of seeing that story, because I would have probably just said, okay, she's right, I'm a hypochondriac. But there was just like this feeling, I don't know, we all have that gut feeling like something's wrong. So yeah, that kind of what happened in the beginning of it all. That's where it all started.
So it was essentially like, Eff it, I'm not taking your word as the final. I'm going to get this checked out because I know in my heart something's wrong.
Yeah, there was. I mean, it's all it's combined. There's like two Eff It's. There was that. But being in the hospital for that long, and it was during the holidays, which was like Christmas and Hanukkah, and so none of the doctors were there. So it was like they kept going, you gotta wait, we have to figure out what to do with you. So I saw 15 doctors prior to my doctor was out of town. Okay, here's the very weird thing that happened. It was like a witchy thing, is that she broke her knee on the same leg I had the blood clot, and she got back and she said, sorry, I just broke my knee from skiing. And I was like, same leg that my blood clot is. I was like, go karma's a bitch. No, I'm kidding. No.
Yeah.
like, sorry. No, but at the end of the day, it's not her fault because she came through for me and she helped me out significantly in the hospital and made the call to have a C-section and really took care of me at the end of that and apologized. And the whole office knew about this. It was like a big to-do, like, we screwed up here.
Well, I can't even imagine the fear of Elvis is your first child, right? So
Yeah.
you're pregnant with your first child and you have this fear and you go in and find this out. I mean, everything is scary when you're pregnant. Everything. Like everything is terrifying when you're pregnant because you don't know what's going on. And then to have something like this, I can't even imagine. And then to go through something so traumatic already in the hospital and then go right into becoming a mom.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was very like there is like that numbing quality of like so much is happening to you. And I'm not saying, woe with me, oh, poor you. We all go through shit in life. But there is that moment of like, how do you compartmentalize this and how do you deal with this?
Yes.
And then on top of that, I think Romy, we're talking about, and Carla, is the next F it moment was like my fear of not being able, I'm an actor and I had this fear of like, am I ever going to act again when I have a kid? And I was so scared about that. And I got the call from the creator of Mayans saying he wants to bring me back. And I came in thinking I was only in for one episode. And I was like, this is 5 weeks after having Elvis. I went and worked and I had like a stent in my heart from them protecting the blood. There was so much going on. And I came in like this, like, like zombie, like I'm here on set because I wanted to go so badly. I wanted to be an actor and a mom. And I went and it was actually very enjoyable because I got a little break from momming with a crying baby. So it was actually nice. And then it turned into 15 episodes.
Wow.
Which was like such a, and I haven't ever had that in my whole career. So it was like this weird universal. Yeah.
I have to say, I mean, if you didn't say F it and go into the hospital and basically make sure you were okay, who knows what would have happened with your labor, right? Who knows what would have then happened with you being able to get out there and get a job like this? Like listening to your gut, I love that you have said that because it allowed you to get through this, right? And get to where you wanted to be. Also, just like really being thrown into, the compartmentalizing and like motherhood, work, like our fit, like life is happening as moms, right? As we have a new baby, as our careers are right there, as our health is right there. But we do find a way to like get through it.
Yeah, we have to. Because there is a way through. And it's just like, it almost prepared me for motherhood.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, this is no joke, you guys. And we need each other. And it's like, you just, oh man, it changes you. It changes everything about you.
Well, that's my next question then. What opportunities really opened up? And I guess it would have been that the show opportunity opened up for you by getting to the hospital. And then what was it like being a new mom then with that whole opportunity being presented to you after going through all this?
I think, I don't know. I couldn't tell if I had postpartum anxiety or not because I've always been an anxiety ridden person. But then again, I think we
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think we all do. I think the truth is every single woman has postpartum anxiety in some frame or mind. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's.
Yeah, I feel like at some level on the scale. Yeah, I think.
I don't know. I don't know if I had any. I mean, I was like Carla had postpartum.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm pretty sure I did.
You're pretty sure you did, right? I don't know that I did. I don't know that I did. But
I still don't know.
I don't think we know who we are anymore afterwards. I think it's like a journey of like, who the fuck am I now?
Yeah.
It's an identity crisis. It is. Because do you know how selfish I used to be? And then I'm like, oh, fuck. I can't even look at myself in the mirror anymore. And like I leave, I'm like, shit, okay, fuck.
Yeah. It is an identity crisis. So what did it tell me like a little bit of what it felt like then to kind of find yourself back in your career immediately after all this?
Well, think about it this way. I had milk in my boobs. They were out to here. I was pumping on set. I had to do a couple sex scenes with just engorged, ginormo, possibly going to get, what's it called?
Yeah, the infection.
Yeah. Cystitis or
something
like that.
during the right. I smelled like milk. and I'm
Oh
this is
God.
really graphic and like not sexy at all. Sorry. But that part was like, wow, okay, this is not my little tiny Augie anymore. This is a new mama body that I'm, going to shed eventually, whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
So for me, this sounds so bizarre, but it was actually therapeutic
Mhm.
to know that I can do both
Yes.
and say it and say, Augie, yeah, like the universe is showing you're going to be fine. If
Yes.
anything, this is going to be a better career for you now because you have a whole different perspective, right? So,
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Yes, it really does open you up to the perspective of like, oh my God, we really can do a lot of shit. We are very powerful and very capable. And
Yeah,
it just magnifies it when you have a fucking kid.
it sure does. It
Yeah.
sure does. And I'm still figuring it out. We're all
Oh, we
figuring,
all are. We all are.
I'm,
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still having new effort moments
Oh,
that will
yeah.
go later.
Girl,
And I'm like,
Yeah.
same. Every day. It's a journey. It's a journey.
So I'm
yeah.
curious, what have you learned through this transition, through this effort moment? What has been, have any negative things come up for you that you're like, oh, I don't like that about myself, or any great things that you're like, oh,
Um, I'm the one thing I have to say that I've still dealing with is to be present. Um, yeah, as a mom, because I've noticed myself going on my phone just to like need a break from momming because your brain is like overstimulated from taking care of a child. And
yep.
so I think the present moment is something I'm
Mm.
genuinely still working on, and it's pretty difficult because I have ADD, ADHD. I've been
Yeah.
called everything. Who cares? Whatever. But yeah, that's the one thing that I am learning still. That I'm having a difficult time.
That's fucking hard.
I think that's something all of us are, no matter what, is like being present. I'm working on it a lot in like my meditations right now about like trying to be in the now, And I think because we are parents in a social media world with a lot of distractions everywhere right now, they didn't have that really before when we were younger. They couldn't really check out the way that we have access to checking out. And it is
Yes,
hard for us, I know, for a lot of parents to just stay present when we're
Yeah.
tapped, you know?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is a
There's
challenge.
FOMO now, and you're just feeling like,
Yes.
oh my God, if I am not like doing the next thing and
That
or
person.
checking this or whatever, that I'm missing out. And it sucks
Yes.
because, like, yeah, you want to be present with your kid. I am at total fault of that. Like, I have to force myself to leave my phone in another room and take my watch off. And,
it's good.
like, it is really hard.
Well, I feel like when we were growing up, like if our parents were like envious or jealous or watching someone else's life, it's because we had to go to their
Right.
house
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and like see
Yeah.
their
Sit
home,
on those couches.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like look at their couch, like that's like the extent to like our parents being like, wow, I want their life, But like when you're in your home, no one was like comparing
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah.
No, no, you made me think of Romy, your
Yeah.
high school room
Yeah.
with because I've been here since I was little, and your collages and all the actresses you loved, and your room was so cool. I was like, damn, she worked really hard on this high
I
school
worked
room.
really hard because I was having a mental breakdown all through high school. So my mental disorder was like taken out on my walls.
But how cool was that house?
It
Oh,
was so
anyway,
cool. Right. And that's the thing. Like when we would see each other's homes or families, we'd be like, oh, they have it all. They're so cool. It's very different for us parents now. It's very different for us moms now, and like the hustle to be successful and like be more than
oh,
just a mom and be, a businesswoman and be a career woman. And it's beautiful, but fuck, it's a
Yeah,
lot,
and
you guys.
it's made the mom guilt that much stronger because, like,
Harder.
I'm sure women felt it back in the day, but like without all of this to be able to have access to, like, you're just like, oh, Gina down the street. And then that's it. Like, that's all you're like really bothered about, but no,
Gina
you know,
down the street, Carla.
Gina, all of
specifically
this.
Tina.
And you're sitting in your house just like looking around like, I don't have what they have. It's it's
Right.
heightened now for sure.
Okay,
Very
so Augie,
much.
I have to ask you then, how did you work through the negative self-talk about maybe saying, I can't go back to work, this is too soon, I'm not ready, I just went through that. How did you actually push through and get through this show?
Yeah, good question. It was more the fear of not working. It was more like, is anyone gay? It was like the desire. I'm like, do people still want me as a mom? Like that was my fear. And so to show up for that and say, no, we do. We think it's even cooler that you're a mom. You know what I mean? So that to me, it was already there. It was like it was mapped out for me before I even knew it. So pushing through was more like just the exhaustion, having to pump and being so depleted and not having slept at all.
No sleep. How did you sleep? When did you sleep?
I didn't even, and it's funny because I was so excited that like we had our little trailers or whatever. And I would try to sleep in there, but I'm like, there's no way. Like I'm on set with like,
Yeah.
yeah, you want to know with Mel coming out and like,
Yeah.
I just I was still worried about my son because he was, a couple months old, but I was only on, a day and then a couple weeks later, one day, but that's how shows work or whatever. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. It was already there for me, which is cool.
So you were able to kind of keep yourself going then.
Yeah. Yeah. And I miss it now. I don't miss the beginning of the pumping and all that. I miss the show because it ended and now I'm
Yeah.
like having an identity crisis as an actor.
I have a feeling that most women that are like driven and all of that have that fear the moment that they become pregnant or they have the child where they're like, are they going to want me back? Are they? And that's such a sad
Yeah.
thing because men like there's like some statistic that men get like a 6% pay raise when they have kids.
Oh yeah, because they're
Yes.
fathers.
Yeah, and
Because
they're
they're
looked
dads.
at like, oh,
You guys.
he's more committed. But women, that it decreases, and it just that fucking sucks. That is something that we have to worry about. Like when, if anything, shows how much even more capable we are of doing things efficiently. You know,
We are so much more badass
I,
than
I
they are.
no,
Sorry.
hey, I'm all about it. I believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they start to believe that the man wants to, it's very old school. The man wants to provide more, so he's going to work harder for his family, and that the woman is going to be held back because she's taking care of her family, right? So we can't
Mhm.
show up for these positions and roles. And I think as time is going on, we're seeing that like women are like you, Augie, taking this, right? And going, I can do exactly what I did before and on top of it be a mom, and you
Yeah.
guys need to watch me do this, and you're not even capable
Yeah.
of doing this.
Yeah.
Like
No,
only us
absolutely.
moms are capable of doing
Yeah.
that.
It's very true. I mean, and also, it does take a village, right? Like you do need the help. Like where is your where is your baby or your kid while you're doing this? And I'm
Right.
like, well, I do have an amazing partner, husband, who's like the coolest, and he was there when this was happening, and he was happy to like take care of him and stuff. So thank you for that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he
Yeah.
was still there, backed me up in that way. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, how would you describe yourself? How's the Augie now versus the Augie before all of this happened? What was she before?
that's a really good question. um, I don't know. That's the answer. The Augie now doesn't care as much as the Augie before. I think.
Isn't that great?
I yeah, I care a lot less because I'm
Right.
too tired to care.
Too tired to care. Yeah.
I'm too tired to care. That's just the honest truth. I don't have some magical, beautiful answer for this because I think we're all as humans still trying to figure everything out, right? We don't have the, we don't,
No, we don't. And it's so true, and I think it's so raw and real, kind of like the space that you're in, because even me, as a mom of an 8-year-old,
yeah,
I posted something last night that said like even your mom is just a woman for the first time being a mom, like right for the first time in her life, still experiencing what like motherhood is like. Even our moms are. And so I had that like reminder of like, just because I have an 8-year-old, maybe when I have a 20-year, like I still don't necessarily know what the hell I'm
yeah,
doing. And every year with new challenges in life which happen, I'm like reminding myself of just the grace of us as women and moms, and the identity crises that may happen many times
yeah,
many
yeah,
times through this
Yeah.
journey.
yes. Yes, very much so. You just hit the nail on that. Like I literally just got chills when you said
Mm-hmm.
that. It's a constant.
It is,
Yeah.
and I think people expect that once we become moms, we just we're moms now. So we have it all together and we're moms and we know how to be moms and like, now you're a mom and it's like what the fuck does that even mean? I don't even know. Like, yes, she's alive, she's thriving, she's fed, she gets to school, she's happy. I'm we're doing the things, but like what does it even mean anymore to just be like you're a mom? Like I don't think any of us moms know.
Mm-mm.
No, no. And I always say, I'm like, as long as he's happy, as
Yes.
long as she's happy, I'm like,
Yes.
that's all that matters. It's the working on yourself is the big one, right?
Yes, but that's I feel like why you end up having so many identity crises because you know what I
Yep.
mean? Like
Yeah.
if you're
Yes.
wanting to like improve and make yourself a better person for yourself, for your kids, then you are going to start running into those like who am what can I do to, make this better for myself, for people
Yes.
around me? So, if anything is as uncomfortable as these identity crises are, they're very much needed
Yeah.
in order to grow.
And would we do them before having?
No.
Yeah, that's right?
Or
Because you
maybe
have.
or maybe they're just not as magnified or something, like, we just kind of brush through it because we don't have, like, the responsibility, but when you have the responsibility, but you also then have to look at yourself, I think it's like, "Oh, shit." Now I really gotta shape up.
Well, we have our kids
Yeah.
watching us, so it's a different pressure
Yeah.
and responsibility. I know for me, I've never given a shit what anyone thinks about me. So I went through my life like I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want and I don't care what you think and I don't give a fuck, right? And then all of a sudden I've got my little girl and I'm like, fuck, I give a fuck what you think. Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I do give a fuck what you see and what you're seeing. And so I feel like motherhood, at least for me, and I know for others I've heard, but like you start to do the real work once you become a mom. Like you actually start to like care in a different way, hopefully care in a different way about your patterns, your unhealed trauma, the things that you've been doing your whole life that aren't working. You start to just really look at things and you want to show up differently for your family, for your partners or your kid. And so it's interesting that that happens as a mom because now you've
Mm-hmm.
got the responsibility of trying to figure out motherhood and now you're faced with one of the biggest healing journeys of your life personally at the same time.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, they
So
say
true.
like when you have your kids, it brings up all of that stuff that you need to look at. And like it has been the most triggering thing for me to be a mom when it comes to emotion. Like if
Oh,
Romy knows how I am, like emotion. I always say emotional span of a gnat. But
Yeah.
but now with my daughter, I'm like,
She ain't
yeah,
lying, Augie.
I'm
She
like,
ain't lying.
what is all of this happening? And then I have to, it's so uncomfortable, but I have to
uh,
like, and I'm getting better at it. Like, it's just, yeah, it's so
Yes.
triggering.
and it's okay to fall flat on your face and to feel like you're going backwards. Because don't you feel sometimes that you're going forwards
Yes.
and then you're going
Yes.
way
I
backwards and
feel
you're
that
like,
at
yeah, yeah,
nighttime at bedtime. I go back.
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. Or 3 in the morning when you wake up with
Yeah.
anxiety and you're like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Oh, yeah. I have fallen flat on my face most recently. And I'm just like, okay, you got to get back up, right? We have kids looking at us. We can't stay down too long. We got to get back up. It's going to happen. And it's such a truth. Um, it's such a truth to all of it. My question then though would be to you is like, what message would you give to a mom who is feeling like they aren't going to be able to go back to their career or back to their work or back to feeling like themselves again? What would your message be to them?
Oh, because you will. You will. You just have to believe it. And you need to have support and you need to have girlfriends and people that believe in you. You know what I mean? Because that's a big part of it too, right? If I didn't have my, group of people, my mom or, my man or, whoever, my mom's like my best friend. She knows my mom.
Yeah. Yes. You guys are the cutest. Yes.
She's a nut. Ready to. Um, you're not alone and
I'm like, Augie, have you met my mother?
yes, and you're also yes.
Like, she's also my best friend and she's, you know,
Nutty moms in the most beautiful way, and that's probably why the way why
yeah.
we are so unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just have to really believe in it. It's okay to feel like you're not going to do it, but you are, and just to have the support. I don't know. I don't have a beautiful answer for that either, but you will
You
if you
will.
believe it.
Yeah.
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 What is next on your journey then with what's next for you? Yeah. And even if you don't know, kind of like where are you at now with all of this? Now that the show has ended, you have a child, you've gotten through this. What is next for you?
That's a really good question. I think this is for another day, but I went through some pretty traumatic things in the last year, which caused me to kind of spiral and have anxiety. I had a really good friend pass away and things like that. So I've my panic and anxiety came back full force
Mhm.
this year, and I was like, oh my god, because trauma is not good for the body, as we
No.
all know.
No.
Causes things out of surprise. And so for me as a mom now, with this going on, it's sort of waking me up to, now I'm in therapy again, which has been such a beautiful blessing, and sort of just like getting a handle on this instead of ignoring it,
Yeah.
and figuring out that journey, because it's not good, that stuff's not going to go away. We're going to be constantly
Triggered.
figuring
Yeah.
triggered,
Yeah.
as we get older too. And so just my journey right now is trying to get a handle on my mental health,
Yeah.
and like in a better way, not saying, oh God, you've lost your mind, just
No.
like dealing with it this time
Mhm.
instead of ignoring it.
I love you saying that. I'm heading to like therapy right after that. This is why I
Oh,
was
I
like, we
love
need
that.
a hard end so I can get to my therapist because these are non-negotiables. And as we've just had this whole conversation about like what it is like to take on life and life to be happening, right? And to be facing things as moms, like it's a good message and a reminder, like get into therapy if you need it. Get the help you need if you need it. Like this stuff you can't do alone. And if you don't have somebody, like get somebody who can help you,
Mhm.
right? Like normalize this for us because this shit can be difficult and life happens. Life happens. Things
Yes.
traumatic happen, like what you've gone through and things I know we've all gone through in our families, Carla, that are out of your
Yeah.
hands. And yet you still
Yes.
have to show up as a mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as
Mhm.
a human being for yourself too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. That's cool. I love that. Yeah, I wish it was advocated more, and I wish we had it better for everybody, mental health, and more free and more easy access, because it seems to be a little difficult for people to find it. So we need to figure that out, I think,
Yeah.
as humans.
Yeah. They should just like hand it to us like when we
Ugh.
become moms.
Yeah,
Well, if they
yeah.
did do that instead
Totally.
of having prisons and stuff, people would be better. And if
Right.
people are better, then the stuff that's happening in the world couldn't happen. So they're gonna keep it that way because it benefits,
Yeah. They're
it
going to,
Yeah.
yeah.
benefits the system. So no.
Right. Keep the sick sick.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Yeah.
we,
yeah. Woo!
yeah, and we just have to find it on our own. Where can everybody follow you, Augie? Where can they go check out your work? What can you promote for yourself right now?
I have a couple of cool movies coming
Yeah.
out. I don't
Tell
know if,
us.
Promote them.
I one's called Hacked, which is like a comedy horror. There's a bunch of cool things coming out. I guess follow me on the Instagram. That's like the only thing I'm on these days,
Yeah. What's
because
your Instagram handle?
I couldn't get into my other one, so it's Duke Augie.
Okay.
Okay.
My name backwards. Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to have another one, but I
Yeah.
couldn't get back into it. So Duke Augie, and then like Twitter, Augie Duke on Facebook and stuff. So yeah, and I'll be promoting these films coming out soon. So
Nice.
yeah.
Amazing. Well, if
Yeah.
you ever need hair, Carla's in LA, so she does hair
Yeah.
there. Yeah. I was like, it's
Yeah.
always good to connect, when people are there, like in the same area.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I
So,
love
cool.
yeah.
that. Sure. I always need hair. I don't even know what to do with my hair anymore. It's just a boring
All
bob at
right.
this point. But
I
yeah,
could do something.
absolutely.
Well, go see my girl. We are so happy that you joined. Thank you for making time. This is where we're all going to say just F it. So Augie, you'll kick it off and say just F it, then Carla, and then I will.
Yeah. Just F it.
Just F it.
Just F it.